Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tech ChitChat Show. This is episode 9. My name is Ken, and you can find me on Northern Viking Everyday and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I am here with my co-host, Steven, 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter, and Steven Loney on YouTube. How are you this morning, Steven?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I was out and about this weekend, and I saw a beaver.
Oh, you did?
So that was fun. It was just sitting there beside the path. I got a good picture of it too.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Canada. Well, if you watched or listened to us a few weeks ago, the beaver chewed through the internet line for a northern town here in British Columbia. So I was taking a close look that he wasn't chewing through my internet cables.
Yeah, I know you've had some internet woes in your neighborhood there. So were you out looking for the neighborhood beaver to see who's responsible?
Making sure he's not cutting out my internet so we can do this show today. You got your coffee?
I do. I remembered this
not
week.
Not like last week with our magical editing.
I remembered. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm just going to jump right into it because anyway, robotic third eyes. Do you need a robotic third eye, Steven?
No. Do I?
I don't know. Have you ever walked into a wall or?
I've walked into a pole, so maybe. Why do you ask?
I'm glad you were able to admit that. Like I've stepped off curbs and things, but and that didn't feel very nice because I wasn't paying attention. I haven't walked into I've walked into the short poles. If you know what I mean.
That sounds worse than the tall poles.
Tall pole.
This is kind of hard to say. Tall pole.
Well, so the reason I'm asking is someone has invented a strap-on beeping robotic third eye that you put on your forehead to help you walk and text. So this is very useful if you are someone who likes to walk and text. And what it does, it senses when you are looking down, and then the eye opens up and flashes and gives you warnings if you're going to walk into a wall or a pylon or something like that. Right. It does not detect manholes yet, open manholes.
Yes, which probably also means that it wouldn't help you from stepping off curbs awkwardly, as you mentioned.
Correct.
So that's not yet a thing, but I guess for me, walking in the poles and things, it would have helped me potentially. I mean, that's...
Well, honestly, all I can think of right now is Michael Scott from The Office falling into the koi pond. On his way to a business meeting. So if you're headed to a business meeting and you don't want to walk into a koi pond, this could definitely help you out.
Except you need to walk to the business meeting with the third eye on your...
That's true, but you can take it off when you get to the business meeting.
That's true. It's true. I guess you don't want to wear it in the business meeting, but...
Well, maybe it'll let you know if you're not paying attention in the business meeting, that it's time for you to talk. That's version 2.0.
2.0.
Well, no. So can you... okay. I feel like there might be a better solution. Like, remember Google Glasses that didn't really take off? Like, maybe a warning system and something like that would have been a good idea that starts flashing when you're going to walk into a pole or something.
Yeah, it feels like this is reminding me of electric, like Tesla cars with like auto driving and trying to detect things and stuff. And now they're just strapping it to your head and you're trying to automate your walking. Can we be humans? Can we, do we?
All it has to do is save one life.
Okay. But what if it destroys? No, I don't know. But I wanted to say, like, this seems to be part of a kind of more of a prototype. It seems that a student worked on this and made this. I don't think it's anything to be real life production or anything at the moment. So we can have fun with it, but it seems to be something that a student or someone has made.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. I think it's a cool. It's a student built it at London's Royal College of Art, and I mean, honestly, I think more power to the person who built this, that they were able to go out and build something like that. I think it's pretty awesome. Technology is amazing, and maybe this isn't the thing I'd strap to my head for looks, but the technology is pretty cool that it'll actually warn you of that kind of stuff. And I mean, I think the technology, you're seeing it in cars and everything, where it's warning you, it'll slow down the car automatically before you hit other cars or different things like that. So I think it more speaks to the technology that's behind it. And I think it's kind of cool that they were able to kind of come up with this, whether you would use it or not.
And we laugh because right now it looks like kind of an obtrusive thing on your forehead, and we say that we wouldn't wear that in public, but there are people who just might. We just might see that, So
awesome. We'll move on.
Yeah,
we've gone through beavers and third robotic eyes.
Yep.
Let's move on to Twitter. It's a Monday morning, people, or probably maybe Tuesday morning or a different day when you're watching or listening to this, but we're recording on a Monday morning. It's time to move on to Twitter Blue. Boy, this is a rough start today. Twitter Blue. This is more up your alley, Stephen. So Twitter, let me pull this back up here. Twitter may be working on a new subscription service called Twitter Blue that could be somewhere around $2.99 per month. Now, I don't use Twitter as much as you do. I use it mostly to find news articles. I tweet the odd thing, but it's typically something I've done on a different platform. But what are your thoughts on this?
No, I am for this. I am a heavy Twitter user. Out of all the social media platforms, this is the one that works most for myself. And for $2.99 per month, if it came with extra perks, including removing ad-based tweets and stuff, I'd be willing to. I'd be totally willing to pay $2.99 a month for an improved Twitter experience. They had mentioned in the article too about ability to undo tweets, which I'm wondering if that means to like edit tweets. I don't know. I mean, that would be huge. People have been asking that for a long time, and
so make it part. So right now, you can only just delete your tweet? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to delete it. There's no way to edit tweets at the moment. The other thing mentioned in this article was about like allowing for, now it already allows for bookmarks in Twitter, but for bookmark collections. This is something I would actually use, because now I use bookmarks because I don't want to like things. I just want to bookmark them to reference them later, especially more for journalism. For journalism needs. And I think Twitter is probably a very good tool for journalism, and you just don't want one monolithic bookmark thing. You want to be able to organize it like in a web browser, like in being able to collect, organize your bookmarks, right?
Yeah.
So you could argue, can this just be part of the free model? Well, no, why not add some paid perks to these platforms? I'd rather have this than be just shown ads all the time. I'd rather have like some perks like this. So for myself, for $2.99, this sounds great. But also as mentioned, like even the tip jar.
Yeah, so I think that was not. I don't know if that was a paid feature. This was talking about other announcements from Twitter. So there was some other cool ones. A new photo, or improving the photo cropping algorithm. Android users for search for direct messages, but rolling out a tip jar feature, which I thought was cool. I mean, there's so many. I used to, buy a newspaper and you'd read a newspaper and that would support the journalist. But now so many people in that industry have lost their jobs and they're freelancers and it's hard to make ends meet. And if someone writes a good article, I still follow a lot of those people that I may have used to read in the newspaper. And if someone creates a good article, you can hopefully give them money in a tip jar down the road. And maybe some of that money that you used to spend on a newspaper, you could forward in their direction. I think that's, I mean, the ways of the digital world are changing, and people still need to make a living.
Yeah.
And I think,
that's the thing I was thinking about is like right now, Twitter, there's a lot of technically like content creators and stuff on there, but they're not getting paid through Twitter, at least that I know directly. You have to take it from Twitter and quickly take it off somewhere else that will be able to monetize what you do. Twitter hasn't had a way to directly keep people on Twitter to support them. And I just think this is great, be able to tip creators and stuff to incentivize that. I'm for this. Even if people say that some of these features should be part of the free thing, well, who's to say? If it's a free service you're using, don't expect anything. I'd rather Twitter make money off subscription models than to be dependent on ads all the time. It'd be cool to see ads clear up and actually have more people paying money.
And I'm okay with that as long as they also keep a free version for those who aren't power Twitter users. Like I wouldn't pay for it just because I just I scroll through it to look for some articles and some sports scores and things, but I'm not on there all the time. So
and even with Twitter, there's like, I try to explain to people, they're like, oh, I've been on Twitter, but I don't have anything to post. I don't know what they're writing. I'm like, well, you don't have to. There is a segment of Twitter where you're just observing. You're just watching. You're just an observer. You're not engaging. You don't have to. And I think for those who are heavy Twitter users and like engaged in it, this makes more sense. Not for the casual person who's just reading and scrolling through like yourself.
Well, and it's very powerful for finding information. If you're into tech, if you follow all the tech sites, you can get a lot of information on there right at your fingertips without having to go to each of those websites and scrolling through them. All the stuff is there. The titles, you can just click on the articles or different things that you're interested in. So that's where it definitely does become very powerful. So any more to say on Twitter?
No, I'm curious to see where this goes. Maybe we can touch on it in the future if more comes out. But I'm curious. I kind of want to keep tabs on this.
Awesome. Imposter.
Oh,
MSI. The MSI Imposter. Uh-oh. What happened here, Stephen?
Oh, yeah. So this is actually... So MSI is a company that they sell like video cards and things like that, the very computer hardware things. And they have motherboards, and I can't remember if they do RAM or not. I'm kind of drawing a blank here, but you're right. Motherboards, video cards, probably some other stuff that I can't recall. But video cards is the main one for me. I might even have one or two MSI video cards here. But they have a software tool for video cards that you can download called MSI Afterburner, which I personally use myself, which gives information about the video card or GPU that you're using in your computer, and allows you to change like the CPU frequency, the memory frequency, the fan curve ramps and stuff, so you can change the fan speed of your GPUs and even like various things that you can tweak. So it's been really cool. A lot of people use this tool. And recently, MSI put out a article saying, hey, somebody has made a fake site impersonating us to look like us, and they're allowing for a download of MSI Afterburner, or apparently, and they're saying, hey, watch out for this site because it's very possible that this software is including keyloggers, malicious spyware, such things as that. So be on guard against this just fake. I'm wondering, it could even be like a legit version of MSI Afterburner. I'm not going to go test this out. I'm not going to go check this myself. But
with something added on, like malicious stuff added to it.
Yeah. So they could be MSI Afterburner packaged with additional stuff. You run the install, and it installs MSI Afterburner, so you don't know any difference. and it's also installed a keylogger at the same time.
Yeah.
So MSI, this is kind of a public service announcement for anyone who is who uses this program. Make sure you're downloading your software from the actual legit site, because it seems that these companies, these fake groups are trading. It looks legit, it looks real, and if you're not careful looking at the URL, you may be duped into downloading a. I don't even know if I've been duped, because I've downloaded this, and sometimes I'm on the actual MSI Afterburner site, and I've been like, is this legit?
Yeah.
And so I may have even been duped at some point. I don't know.
One thing, I mean, when I download software, I, to the best of my ability, try to download it from the actual developer's site rather than go to a third-party site. I know some of there's many legit third-party sites out there. It's just, for myself, I feel the most comfortable downloading it directly from the site that has developed it. I mean, you never know where you're gonna get hacked or where you're gonna get some spyware put on your computer.
Well, this is where this is interesting, because this group has tried to get your trust. They try to make it look like a first party site, right? They're trying to hide the fact that they're not a legit site, and so they're trying to get even people who, like yourself, who want only the first party site. They're trying to get you to download it too.
Yeah,
they want to do you. So
no, for sure. So,
and I appreciate MSI putting out the news thing saying, "Hey, watch out, don't fall for this."
Yeah,
I'm glad that they,
So good. I mean, they're a big legit company, MSI. So it's good to see that they're
So just to be clear,
putting this out there and being
So the MSI Afterburner is legit. It's a real program. That's not shady. It's just a group trying to impersonate and package the software with something else malicious. Make sure that you're going to legit sites. Double check if you're unsure. So
awesome.
Yeah.
You like building computers, don't you?
I do.
Would you like to build a laptop?
I don't know. Can you convince me?
Maybe. Something new. So modular laptops are coming out where you can put it together yourself. The IKEA of laptops. And let me pull up this article here. So pre-orders for modular framework laptops are now open and supposed to be shipping towards the middle end of summer at some point, I believe. Where was it? Well, somewhere in the summer, July, end of July. And so what this is you can buy a fully assembled computer, but you can also buy do-it-yourself editions starting at $749, where you put together your laptop on your own with different pieces. They're also offering reduced rates if you have some laptop parts already. Maybe you have your own RAM or your own solid-state drive or Wi-Fi card, so you're able to reduce rates on those. And so they got a few different editions here, starting at $999. Where was the next one? $13.99, I believe, and $19.99, just depending on the specs here after.
Right.
I think this is kind of cool for those of you who are interested in building your own laptop. Or the reason I thought this was interesting is I've spent the last few weeks at work taking part in putting together a 3D printer. Right. It's a Prusa 3D printer. And you can buy it fully assembled or you can buy it in pieces. And when I say assembling this 3D printer, it's like you get bags of screws and you're assembling every little part and running the wires through the cracks, and like it's all pieces, just small little pieces that you're putting together. So if you're into that, this would be pretty cool.
But you're Swedish. You can do that, can't you?
That's why I only shop at IKEA.
I mean, you're a pro. You're used to
I mean, you go to IKEA and you have to make your own hot dog, pretty much. If you're I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you do this? Would you buy the do-it-yourself edition?
it depends. So right now I do have a laptop where I already have an SSD and the RAM, and if I could carry the RAM and the SSD over, then I can get some costs down maybe.
Yeah.
It really depends. So I mean, because even with standard laptops, you already can upgrade again the memory, the RAM, and the hard drive. You can do those things. You can add Bluetooth adapters if you want. So this seems to be. It really depends. Like I doubt, being a little technical, I'm doubting that they're allowing you. I could be wrong, but I'm doubting that they're allowing you to be able to change the graphics card in these things.
Okay.
If
That would be
if
a big one. Yeah.
that would be huge to me if that was a possibility to be like to buy it with even just the integrated normal, just the integrated graphics to start, and I could upgrade it to like if there was any way to upgrade to a more discrete GPU, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Mhm.
I mean, this sounds cool, and I feel like there's been companies who've tried this before. I don't think this is exactly new, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I feel like there is a place for this, especially people who are more hands-on and like
Yeah.
building things. Um,
I think for upgrading down the road, it could be useful.
yeah, and I'm wondering because like also if so with this, if I was able to, let's say, more easily change out the screen as well, if the screen is able to be changed out, that
Yeah.
allows you then to have like displays like destroyed and wrecked to be able to just change out the display and not have to, you know.
Yeah, or maybe I like on the screen there you can see there's like a keyboard. Like I don't know if your keyboard gets sticky because you spilled your orange juice in it. Can you just
Yeah,
swap out your
yeah.
keyboard?
And that's one of the things, like even beyond the ability to upgrade, one of the reasons I love having a desktop PC is that if one of the components die, it's easier to replace that component to keep going.
Hmm.
Where the laptop, you kind of have this more monolithic, like if one piece dies, the whole thing dies. You got to
Hmm.
basically service the whole thing. With our desktop PCs, it's like, okay, well, a RAM stick died. Okay, well, I'll just replace that RAM stick, or a hard drive
Yeah.
dies, replace that. Um, it sucks if the motherboard dies, but the motherboard dies. Okay, I'll replace the motherboard. There's ways to more quickly replace one piece and keep going.
Yeah.
So this allowed us to do that, and to some degree, if you need to just keep your device being reliable, you could even have like spare parts on hand. So let's say something dies, you just that day have your
Yeah.
spare part on hand. If you're somebody who needs something reliable and working,
Yeah.
so even beyond upgradability, would it allow us to more easily keep things working? That one piece is broken, we'll fix it.
Hmm.
So that would be
Well,
cool.
yeah, no, for sure. And you had mentioned this company, Puget Systems,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe share a little bit about them and their story because I think you were saying that they pulled out of the laptop market because it wasn't modular.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to know about what Puget Systems is, there's a really cool video on them by a YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day, where a guy named Destin goes, interviews them, and they show what they do. It's really cool. So they customize, at this last I checked, desktop PCs around specific needs that people have. So if it's like video editing, they'll build you a computer based around what you need for like Adobe Premiere or things like that, right? They'll benchmark things and build things spec to what you need day to day for what you're doing. So according to that video I watched on them from Smarter Every Day, they actually were even selling laptops, but they got out of it, and it was a very sizable portion of their income. But they got
Mhm.
out of it because it didn't fit what they do. They build custom PCs. They're able to, with desktop PCs, they're able to like swap out parts and customize things. With a laptop, you were stuck with more of the monolithic, here's what you go. And they're like, basically, why this is not really what we do. Yes, we can sell
Yeah.
these to people, but we're just becoming a reseller of laptops. We're not customizing. So I'm wondering if laptops like this would allow them to get back into that game to customize these more modular laptops, to get back into it and to have their own touch of building laptops to the spec that their clients need. So it just allows more options for people like that for just more targeted laptop devices with specific needs.
Yeah.
And
no, it's a kind of an interesting topic. I know, especially if you have specific needs or you're hard on your computer and you need, like I said, maybe you are a hard typer and your keyboard wears out, or you have kids that color on your screen and you want to just replace your screen.
Yeah.
And trust me, that happens.
Yeah, that's no, legit. That's actually, you bring it up. That's a really big concern. If I knew that with my laptop, I can swap out the screen because I don't want to have to send it for servicing with all my information on it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If I knew that I could order a new screen and change it myself, because there's crayons and Jiffy markers all over it. Yeah.
Well, we had a laptop when our kids were little that somehow was missing many keys that we couldn't get back on and markings on the screen. So it definitely could be useful for that as well.
Yeah.
That being said, let's move on to Windows. That was not a very smooth transition. But
whatever.
Windows nixes Windows 10X. And I think we talked about this a couple months back. Windows 10X was a kind of, let's call it a Chrome OS competitor that they were planning on bringing out. And it sounds like they've kind of kiboshed it or shelved the idea for now. Maybe partially because of demand and partially because of the world crisis and all sorts of things. But it was supposed to be a Chrome competitor, a kind of a light Windows 10 version. There was even some leaks kind of what it was going to look like. And it sounds like they've kind of put that on hold for now. And they're kind of trying to keep continuing to work on regular Windows 10 and putting their eggs in that basket. Thoughts on that?
I feel like Microsoft has tried for years to get into the mobile market some way, whether it be with the phones, which I think we discussed it before, which I like them. They're what were they called? Lumnia
or something.
Yeah, like they looked cool. Microsoft, they've tried, and they just have seem to have never been able to get traction with these more mobile versions of Windows. And
I agree. I have a friend that had a Windows phone and absolutely loved it.
Right.
But you're right. They just haven't had the traction. And it's hard to compete with Apple and Android out there. So it's just trying to get into that market when you're, I don't want to say too late to the game, but you're kind of too late to the game at this point.
But on the other hand, as even this article mentions here, Windows has still been successful in the desktop space. You can't really be sad for them because they're actually doing super well in just the everyday desktop and laptop devices.
Yeah. And video games. They're successful in many categories.
Yeah. So they're not suffering. It's kind of like they're just doing something. They're doing very well. Yeah. In the not mobile space. So it's kind of like they keep experimenting and trying to get in this area, but they're not suffering. It's they're not. I don't think they're making a bad product in the more mobile thing. But I just feel like for me, if I'm going halfway to a Windows device, I want to go all the way to a Windows device. Yeah. And I don't want a mobile device unless I can do everything that Windows can do. Yeah. And that might be part of the issue is that if there's people like me, I don't want Windows. I think we talked about this before, but Windows is kind of fighting with Windows because I get a Windows PC because I can do anything with it. It has the most support for most applications. And these stripped down versions of Windows, they look like Windows, but you actually realize, I can't run my business software on here. I can't run such and such software in here.
Well, and they're truly designed to, check your email and go on Facebook. And maybe create a Word document. But that's okay if that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
And you want a small compact device and Chromebooks as well. Like they're designed that you can get the basic work done. But as soon as you need to start, maybe you want to edit in Adobe Premiere, that's just not going to happen. Or so as soon as you need to start adding larger pieces of software to your computer, it's just not going to happen. And I think they're great for getting your homework done, but maybe beyond that, they're not that great. And maybe I don't know what the market size is for computers like that. I know the computers at the middle school over here, they have a ton of Chromebooks, and they're great for students for doing their homework, but then you take them to the video editing class and you can't really use them, right? So
right. And that, I think that's where it needs to get to the point is, if they can strip down this Windows experience so that you're not getting crippled when you need to go into video editing software, even if the video editing software runs slowly, whatever, as long as it's possible.
Yeah.
And if they could strip down Windows so that you're not crippled in these areas, then I think that'd be good. But if I don't know. I'm not sold on them for myself. I don't know. I want the full Windows experience if I'm buying a Microsoft. OS.
Especially if you've used it before, it's hard to go backwards to have less features.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Stephen, our question of the day.
What is it?
Our question of the day.
Drum roll.
Would you wear a robotic eye? And maybe we should add to this question, in public or at home, just to try it on and use it.
No, I'm going to ask you, would you wear a robotic eye?
I would try it at home just to see how it works, but out and about, there's no way I would wear that. I'd rather be Michael Scott and fall into the koi pond than wear that robotic eye into a meeting. So
you'd just rather have a disaster than be seen wearing it. I'm going to say no. I don't like the idea of something. No, I don't even like. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the no. So you're a maybe.
No, I'd wear it at home to walk to the kitchen and try it on. But out and about, no.
Yeah, but do you really need it at home to see if you're going to walk into somebody?
No, I just want to see how it works.
Could you imagine your whole family wearing these robotic eyes and you're all not even looking at each other? You're just all day just looking at.
I'm talking about for 5 minutes, not all
day. Going to the bathroom, the robotic eye.
No, that's just creepy.
Sorry, a little too far.
So, I think the technology is cool, and I like where it's going. Maybe it can be incorporated in your phone, that your phone warns you if you're going to step in them. That might be better. But
I actually could see that in the phones themselves, having a sensor not
in the camera,
and that kind of thing. Probably,
I think I'm waiting for version 3.0, and at that point, so. So I'll use it in version 3.0. Awesome. Well, that kind of wraps up episode 9 of the Tech ChitChat Show. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening on YouTube and all the podcasting platforms. Remember to like and subscribe. We'd love to hear your comments, and especially here on YouTube, we'd love to see your comments on here. So thank you everyone for watching and listening today. Until next time, take care and happy Tech Chit Chat talking. Oh man. Bye-bye.